So, Coach, with the reintegrating Camila back into the fold, what just impressed you the most about that game against Dallas, just overall with the team?
Yeah, I thought she acclimated herself well from being away from us for a while, and her teammates were able to find her in good positions, and she ran the floor well. I thought she was communicating out there on defensively, so she didn't miss a beat in terms of understanding how we want to play and things like that. So.
Coach, are you trying to separate some of the minutes from different points in the game between Camila and Angel, where Camila will be separate and Angel will be playing with Ego? Do you kind of like that look?
Yeah, I think all three have shown good chemistry together. So I think it's just a matter of playing what the matchups give us and trying to see how we can work different lineups out there and seeing how some of our perimeter players play off of each of those different lineups in terms of which bigs are in and things like that. And so we've shuffled the lineup obviously several times throughout this year, trying to find some consistency. And we've seen some things that we like in some areas and some other areas where we want to continue to tweak. So.
Like you've been talking about how Angel and some of the starters have been getting a ton of minutes and finding opportunities to ascend. Do you feel like Maddie has been helping just for relief?
Yeah, for sure. She came in that Washington game and gave us some great minutes and gave us a few good minutes the other night against Dallas. And so yes, I continue to want to see that. Same with Mick. If she didn't get into foul trouble, she may have seen some more minutes against Dallas as well. So. We want to utilize our bench a little bit more and find different areas where we can give some rest, especially as the games continue to pile on.
What would you say are some of the things that you're looking to expose when it comes to this matchup against Minnesota?
I think we got to continue to do the things that served us well in the first matchup, and we came out and jumped on them pretty well in the first quarter, and we want to continue to see that. We want not to have that let up in the second quarter. They outscored us by 15 in that second quarter, so when we have large leads like that we're able to build up early, we want to be able to find ways to hold on to them. But I think that over the course of the game, we were able to manage the runs that Minnesota went on, and to me, that's part of our growth as well, and not letting those get out of hand, being able to bounce back and be resilient within the flow of the game. And so we want to continue to see that in this next matchup.
So, Rachel, talk to us a little bit about how she sees her play and how she hopes to contribute in Chicago. I'm just curious to get your thoughts on what you see as the value added and what you want to play.
Man, she's it's been kind of a redundant point the last few games, but she's been great for us. There's no other way to put it. She's been steady. She's been poised at the point guard position. We've tried to find a ways to get her off the ball a little bit, but she's been able to pick and choose her spots even on the ball of how to create her own shot. And so she's been able to help keep us organized. She's communicating out there. She's a leader in the locker room. So we utilize her in a ton of different areas, a ton of different positions, and she's been great.
Coach, what did you see from Angel and her defense on Fee in that first matchup? I thought that on Sunday she kind of, did as best as she could, was kind of limiting her a bit.
Yeah, I think Angel plays Fee tough pretty much every matchup. I think that there's a certain point with Fee where it's just like you know that you're going to get her numbers at times. You just try to make it as difficult as possible, and I think that Angel does a good job of being physical with her and not bailing her out, but making her work for everything, and that's all you can ask for. And so, and she returns the favor on the other end too. And Angel tries to attack her on the offensive end as well, and so I think they got a good competitive spirit in relationship when they match up against each other. Angel's always ready for the matchup, and so continue to see that competitive edge from our side, and just trying to make things as difficult as possible for a great player like Fee.
So with that Angel being matched up with Fee, a lot of times she pulls her out to the perimeter. How have you kind of balanced, or you plan to balance the rebounding battle, since Angel a lot of times is pulled out to the perimeter? It seems like strategically so, possibly.
Yeah, I think as a whole, we don't want to just we don't want Angel to be the only rebounder out there. So there's opportunities where other players gotta fill in the void from that standpoint when Angel is pulled out on the perimeter, especially on the defensive end. We know the offensive rebounds are going to be there, but defensively, our guards got to help our bigs out on the glass, and it's got to be an all-out effort, especially against teams like Minnesota who shoot it so well. We don't want to give them second and third opportunities on the offensive glass to create more opportunities for them on the offensive end.
And Coach, we're reaching the All-Star break coming up here soon, and I just wanted to ask you a little bit about your experience here as a head coach. I don't think it's happened with you this year yet, but what are the lessons learned? The momentum seems to be good right now for the team. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I think that I guess I'm learning that as a head coach, the learning process is never ending, and so there's always different different things that you notice, different things to take forward. No day is really the same, and so. But for us, I think the consistency is the attitude and the approach that we had, especially over the last several weeks, has kept everyone motivated, everyone uplifted. I think that it's part of the culture that our staff wants to create here. So I've been pretty proud of that, and I think the results are going to turn out into being in our favor over time. I think that we can't get caught up in just what it is right now, but how it's supposed to look gradually and where that growth is. We still have a fairly young team, and so there's a lot of learning curves that we've had to adjust to, myself included. And but I couldn't be more proud of the staff that we have and of the team that we have in terms of being able to fight through the ups and downs that we've had this season. And we're still optimistic of what it can look forward to moving forward this season.
Coach, despite the record, I think many have noticed that your player development background has really helped with Angel's development, and what we're kind of seeing from Rachel Banham being pushed to do more even as a veteran. How do you use that background in sticking with the course and looking at what you can really see to develop in these players?
Yeah, I think it starts, I got a great staff behind me, so we communicate all the time on what areas are needed to improve with each individual player and how it fits into the construct of our team concept and chemistry and things of that nature. I think for Angel specifically, a lot of it has just been in the different positions that we've put her in. We've been able to, highlight some of her abilities and her talents that, aren't always shown at times. And I think that slowly but surely she's been adapting, really well in terms of being able to handle the ball, facilitate, finding areas to score, finding areas to rebound, being able to be, show that defensive versatility as well. And all that is part of player development. And so I think that, a large part always goes to the player in terms of her willingness to do whatever, her willingness to work, her ability to be coached and things like that. So she's been great at adapting to what we need her to do. Our staff has been great in terms of, showing her film and being able to be on the court and demonstrating things of that nature. And so it all goes hand in hand, but always in player development. None of that is prevalent if there's not the trust and belief from player to coach or from coach to player and how it translates into the team.
Coach, I asked Rachel about E-Will, right? So everybody talks about her defensive prowess, obviously being a vet on the team, but your thoughts just on her offensive game, because I feel like that's part of her game that's not talked about a lot.
Yeah, she's been able to put a lot of pressure on the rim at times, and it's helped us, especially during the absence of Camila. She's been able to fill that void pretty well, and I think her passing ability is another area, just along with Angel and Camila's, just our willingness to be, passers out the post, being able to move it along the perimeter to keep the flow of our offense going, and she's just adapted really well. And I think that she's been able to show times of aggressiveness here and there from an offensive standpoint, and it's welcome for us. Anytime that we can continue to put pressure on the rim, it's opened up stuff for our shooters on the perimeter as well.
Thank you.
I just had one about the wanting Angel to not be the only one who's rebounding. Do you ever feel like there's like a psychological element of players that played with Angel who are kind of like, oh, Angel will probably get it?
I don't think so. I think that we all recognize and know how prolific of a rebounder she is, but we also know the importance that she can't grab everyone. So it's got to be an all out effort. We know a lot of teams emphasize offensive rebounding now as well, and so again, it's we want to be able to finish possessions, and I think that that's kind of the mindset that we want to have. Is if we don't come down with the rebound, that just means 24 more seconds or 14 more seconds that we got to play in the defensive end. And so if we can secure that defensive rebound, whether it's Angel or whoever the other four are at the time, it allows us to get out and run in transition and play on the offensive end, which everyone wants to do anyway. So.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.